the floods go, that no more credit given for prognosticating rain, credit given for arcs. All of you obviously found your arcs this morning. I'm very glad that you're here. You are just wonderful to be here, and we're thrilled you're here and thrilled for all the support that you give us during the year. So thank you very much. It was definitely worth being here. You were very smart to be here. I welcome everyone who's on the internet who actually did not have to get into an arc. And hopefully you are home and dry and drinking coffee. But for all of us here, it's just great to have you. We have the Juilliard School, Manhattan School, and Purchase College, where we actually have a series that started this past year, and we'll be doing it again next year. So it's great to have them. Before I start, I just want to make sure you all saw the back of this. For the first time ever, Chamber Music Society of Lincoln Center has a summer series. So get your tickets quick. We're looking forward to it. It's only 3 concerts that we're going to have, and it's going to be, David and Wuhan have picked their absolute favorites of just all of the greats. So it's the beginning of a really exciting new series, and we're looking forward to seeing all of you in the air-conditioned Ellis Tully Hall in the middle of the horrible heat in the summer. But today what we have is, we are very lucky to say, we have Jimmy Lin, who is one of the world's greatest violinists here, described by the LA Times as a rare combination of virtuosity and humanity. So we are very happy to have him. As you know, he has been a soloist with all of the great orchestras in the world. He's the artistic director for the Hong Kong International Chamber Music Festival, the artistic director for the National Taiwan Symphony Orchestra Youth Music Summer Camp. So obviously he's used to teaching students, as he is today. He's on the faculty of Juilliard, he's on the faculty of Rice University, and most happily for us, and for all of you, he is going to be playing Brahms in our concert on Friday night. So welcome to you. Thank you very much for being here. And welcome to all of you. Thank you. This is our last of the year, so thank you and welcome.
Purchase this morning? Yeah. Did you have trouble coming in?
Just some rain.
But that's all, yeah. End of the world kind of, that's okay. Yeah. Well, welcome. Good morning. Good morning. It's so nice to have you here. How are you? You all right? I hope you dried up a little bit since, yeah. Hi. Good morning. Is there any particular movement that you wish to work on this morning?
First one.
First, okay. But maybe for the sake of the timing issue here, we don't have the whole, yeah. Maybe skip that for now, if that you don't mind, yeah. Terrific playing to all of you. Yeah, really wonderful, beautiful music, isn't it? Stunning stuff. Given this, very short duration for our meeting today, let me start off by telling you a very funny story from my own life about this quintet. When I was about your age, I don't know, I was about 22, 3 or so, I was invited to play this piece at a festival in Austria run by Gideon Kramer. And in this group, it was a cast of very stellar elder colleagues like Kim Kashkashian and Ko Iwasaki, and Gideon was playing first violin, and the clarinetist was Edward Brunner, the then principal of the Bayerische Rundfunk Orchestra. So we rehearsed really hard, and there was a German record label called Orfeo that wanted to record several concerts live, and there was to be no edits, and that's what Gideon decreed anyway. So we got to the development of the concert, dee-da-dum, da-da-dum, dee-da-da-da-da-da-da-dum, and lo and behold, Gideon got lost. So at the end of the concert, we all scratching our heads, wondering whether we should just go back in onto the stage and just do a 5-minute patch just to fix it up. And Gideon insisted, no, there would be no patch. We'll do it again at another night. We'll play the entire quintet just to fix that one bit. So we rehearsed again, and again. Came the concert, we walked down stage, and the same place he got lost again. And again, we talked about doing a patch. He said no, so the recording never made it. So that was my very interesting experience with principles clashing with practicality. Anyway, let's look at a couple things about this quintet. One is the continuity of the melodic line, which is so crucial because he hands it off very quickly sometimes, right, into somebody else. And let's also talk about the rhythmic underpinning. Let's look at the beginning right away, the very first 2 bars, because this theme comes back time after time. And Brahms unfailingly gives the 2 violins the diminuendo sign in the second beat and first bar and second bar. So I would urge you to look at that as a very gentle accent, because you two played it very sustained, very clear. That's all very good. But they should be, I think this whole first movement has, the whole piece actually has a lot of this sighing quality, Pa, dee dum pa dum. It's always like, sort of what we call the autumnal Brahms. This is more autumnal than the usual Brahms. But Brahms was autumnal already when he was in his 20s, but that's okay. But you know what I mean, So I think the opening should already have that little sighing quality. Because when it's very even, it sounds like da 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 da, as if you're counting the beats. I don't think you should count the beats, Just la la la, like propel the music ever so slightly with that opening figure. Can we try that? Good, yeah. Now, can you start more? I mean, he marked forte. So start with a nice, healthy, full sound, and just think, if you were singing it, how would you sing it? Like, it's not ya-da-da, it's not an angry accent, right? It's a very, again, think how you would sigh, Think of a day that makes you feel, oh man, do I have to do this, See if that helps. Good, good, good. That's very nice. Now, let's see. Ina, right? Yeah, Ina. Can I urge you to play the first note of each bar with much more vibrato? Yeah, so it has to have expressive quality right away. Yeah, it sounds a little dry right now. Okay, now, I'm so sorry to be fussy. Has not really been together so far, including the first run through. Is there some way you can be in sync with each other? So feel the music together? yes, yes. Okay, can I just then try one more thing, which is starting the third bar. Don't start at the dynamic that you dee da 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 dee da da. Dee da 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 dee da dee da. Just keep singing, because then the syncopation should come in. He marked again clearly. I mean, by now, Opus 115, Brahms knew what he was doing. We just have to assume that he did. All right. He wrote forte for everyone's entry, right? So he's not mincing words here. All right. So yum bam 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 bam. So there's propulsion, but the incredible thing is, it doesn't really go anywhere, right? He sets it up, and then this propulsion just dies and brings the clarinet in, like, opens up a new door, like you open the door into a beautiful landscape. Try that. So if you come in, just with a little more sound, I think that will help. Okay, now, Louis, is that right? Mm-hmm. Try not to break the line. Okay. Dee da da dee da 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 da. Stop. No, play the longest line you can possibly do. All the way. If you can, all the way to here. And even at the end, da da da. Don't disappear, because you need to bring them in to take over. This is what I meant when I said create. We have to connect the lines. It's not always just one single instrument from beginning to end. Yeah, and I think it would be really nice, Bonan, if you can, as you finish this line, give a little propulsion to bring him in, so it's not so slow. Yeah, the beginning is really nice now. You pick a spot that you like this play from. Okay. Can I just interrupt you for a couple of thoughts? Louis, first at end of your solo, play as if you're about to cry. It's like, such sentimental music, isn't it? It's gorgeous. So don't play like, modern supermarket style, okay? Play with all your heart, all right? And then second thing is, bar before rehearsal 2, feel that conflict of everybody going 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, and then the hemiola from the first violin, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. That conflict, the trademark rhythm of Brahms really must be felt very keenly. And then sustain the first chord of rehearsal 2. You know, finally we have this unbelievable B minor arrival. Bam, bam, bam. You know, and I would not worry about bam, bam. You know, like ya da 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 da. Play them with much more incision. Ba bam 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 bam. I don't play da da bam. Don't make the 16th note lazy. You know, that has to have electricity in it. You know, this is an incredible outburst. You know, one hell of a second subject, isn't it? Usually it's the other way around, isn't it? Second subject is a little calmer, right? Mr. Brahms has reverse course here. This is the defiant one. Let's see. Can we do from where the 2 violins join in octaves before 2? You have bar numbers. This is 18. Yeah. Yeah, no, everybody get to that F sharp. Don't let go, right? Da 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 da. No, right? Clarinet, lead. You're the last one, right? Ya da da da, da bum bum. You know, furious music here. You know, Brahms said, "I might be old, but I ain't dead yet." Okay, still a lot of fire in me. You know, don't forget the sforzando, the 4th bar. Da dum bum 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 bim bum. Bam, bam, bam. All these sforzandos, very powerful, you know? I don't hear any difference. They just sound all the same. I think you should emphasize the sforzandos, okay? And make those running third, the triplets, as urgent as you can, you know? Put a lot of fire in there. Let's try maybe from rehearsal 2. Is that okay? No. See, I'm so sorry. That's so passive. Don't be passive, right? And then bring them in the tune on top of that. Don't play da dum dee dum da. Yeah, you know, you've already given up. No. Again, Mr. Brahms emphatically wrote forte for everyone's entry, right? He doesn't back off for any of you. So I wouldn't, right? You know, and then just have the second violin and the clarinet come in soaring and singing as beautifully as you can, you know. And then, of course, you'll make minute adjustments to back off slightly. But at least for 2 bars after rehearsal 3, don't become, you know, passive and non-expressive, you know. Full of emotion still, please. Yes. We can just do, I don't know, 2 bars before that? Is that any good for you guys? 2 before 3? Do you have 3? Yeah, is that all right? I don't know. C, yeah. No, how about da-dum, bum, bum, 4 bars before. Okay. Let's gauge this diminuendo as carefully as we can. And you know, before this clarinet entry, you have piano, right? 4 bars before that. But before the piano, don't go too soft. We still need a little more tension in the phrase. And then I think we should all follow the cello, you know, as Louis starts to go boom, boom, as he gradually decreases the sound and the intensity, quiet down along with him, okay? And this time, play like this is your heartbeat, right? Boom, 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 boom. You know, gradually it's calming down, the heart rate is lowering, and then the exquisite clarinet entry. And please, no attack on that note, please, when you come in, okay? As smooth and silky as you can get. Yeah, very nice. Can we just try that? So you pick a spot. See, I'm so sorry. Play a little more because again, the continuity of the phrase disappeared. You know. Okay, let's try that again. Yeah. Relax, Louis. Okay. Okay, now let's look at that moment. I would stop pushing if I were you at that point. Boom, ba, boom, ba, boom, ba. This bit always reminds me, for you violinists, you know, the first Brahms sonata, the G major. You know, so it's very easy for the violinist to relate. And so if you find that useful, you can relate, you know, you can tell the rest of the group that, you know, if they want to. So the thing is, that moment, we should set it up. You should all set it up for the clarinet to come in, you know. You know, it's such an exquisite moment. Yeah. Can we just try that maybe before the clarinet entry? 1, 2, 3, 4 bars before? Less active. Great. Sorry to stop. Try one more time. Don't let the vibrato go. I see that you stopped vibrating just because you went to a softer dynamic. Keep the quality of the sound, you know, inside, very inward, but beautiful, absolutely beautiful, okay? Good, good. Now, we're starting to run out of time. I would like you to try it now. Jump to it near the end. Can we do from da dee da 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 da, the corresponding place, the second violin solo after K before L? You know, because I really would love to have you do something differently here, right? Because the first time it goes very quietly into the end of the exposition, right? Da 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 dee da dee. The next time, dee da da. You know, the final outburst of, you know, this great master. So let's try that, and let's do something different. So, and when you begin the triplets afterwards, ya ba 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 ba, start softly, but then, you know, molto crescendo after that.
Sorry.
I think that's 184.
Got it. Sorry.
Got it?
Sorry, let's stop. Don't make any gap before this arrival. I hear da 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 da. There's a silence. Only the first violin is still playing because she's going on to the same note. So the rest of you must try your very best to continue the sound, to make that gap inaudible. Okay? Maybe do from that subito piano on the half bar, everybody. That's okay. Try again. You know, da 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 da, whom, boom. You know, just as much bow as you can. I don't think you guys are using nearly enough bow to generate the sound. Play that, don't play like a bunch of notes. Not da 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 da. You play the da ya da 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 dee da 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 da. You should be ya da 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 ya da 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 da. You know, I'm drowning. You know, that kind of angst-ridden moment. You know, don't play just the notes. Play the emotion. This is really important. Okay, can we just do right there? You know, the right there, 4 before M. More. Again, isn't it? No, 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 no. See, no, no. This is the part I want to cover, and then we will part company right after this. You know how the beginning we just played a few minutes ago? Yang bang, 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 bang. Guess what he does here? Wham, bam, bam, bam. He slowed down, right? Like once upon a time, there was a young man. The young man now has grown old, right? He's much more pensive now. Bam, 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 bam. The heartbeat is slowing down. Boom, boom. So let us feel that. It's different from the beginning. Don't play whoa, bah, just like, you know, not as if nothing's happened, right? This is a long journey, right? It's through life. It's so beautiful. Don't play the arpeggios upward too fast because they need to have the right tempo. And the first violin's job is to play those 16th notes as heavy as you can. Long, ba, la, ba, 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 bam. Can we just try this bit right there on M, and then we'll have to stop.
Sorry.
I think I was 184.
Got it. Sorry.
Got it?
Sorry, let's stop. Don't make any gap before this arrival. I hear da 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 da. There's a silence. Only the first violin is still playing because she's going on to the same note. So the rest of you must try your very best to continue the sound, to make that gap inaudible. Okay? Maybe do from that subito piano on the half bar, everybody. You know, da 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 da, whom, boom. You know, just as much bow as you can. I don't think you guys are using nearly enough bow to generate the sound. Play that. Don't play like a bunch of notes. Not da 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 da. You play the da ya da 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 dee da 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 da. You should be ya da 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 ya da 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 da. You know, I'm drowning. You know, that kind of angst-ridden moment. You know, don't play just the notes. Play the emotion. This is really important. Okay, can we just do right there? You know, the right there, 4 before M. More. Again, isn't it? No, 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 no. See, no, no. This is the part I want to cover, and then we will part company right after this. You know how the beginning we just played a few minutes ago? Yang bang, 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 bang. Guess what he does here? Wham, bam, bam, bam. He slowed down, right? Like once upon a time, there was a young man. The young man now has grown old, right? He's much more pensive now. Bam, 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 bam. The heartbeat is slowing down. Boom, boom. So let us feel that. It's different from the beginning. Don't play whoa, bah, just like, you know, not as if nothing's happened, right? This is a long journey, right? It's through life. It's so beautiful. Don't play the arpeggios upward too fast because they need to have the right tempo. And the first violin's job is to play those 16th notes as heavy as you can. Long, ba, la, ba, 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 bam. Can we just try this bit right there on M, and then we'll have to stop. Sustain. heavier. No, that's too fast. Take more time. You know, it's such sad ending. Just do from the clarinet entry. You know, a few bars from the end. Everybody's pianissimo. No. Let's do from before 1, 2, 3 ending 1, 2, 4 bars with 5 bars before with the clarinet upbeat. Da da dee dum. And everybody longer. All the strings much longer. Give a very somber sound there, okay? So there's almost like a timeless quality about this ending. Same thing as the end of the quintet as well. You know, it's like I don't know how to describe it. It's very nostalgic music. It's a stunning piece of creation. So I think we have run out of time, but just think about how to connect lines. This is a very important thing. You know, I didn't even cover some of the bits in the development when Brahms hands the voice to somebody else. You know, make sure whoever hands it off doesn't mean that you sing your music. Oh, my tune is done. Okay, goodbye. You know, but think about where it's going. And sometimes it really helps that if you have to pretend that you're playing the next melody as well. So how would you do that if you continue your tune? And sometimes that's how you should play. Just that you give that person in reality. Okay. So thank you, bravo to all of you. Yeah, thanks, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thanks very much. Thank you. Bravo to all of you. Great. Well, have a safe journey back to Purchase. Yeah. Nice to work with you. Bravo. I failed to ask you a very important question. Which movement would you like to play first? Okay, great. very impressive playing. Ravishing piece, isn't it? Hard as hell, yes. It slays just about every pianist who tries to play it. So, fantastic, yeah, great. Now, before we get started on this work itself, may I just ask, why are you standing?
I'm standing because I feel a lot more free when I'm standing, because I feel like I practice standing up and I perform the majority of solos standing up. And when I sit down, I feel like it's like a different setup when you're sitting down, and I feel like I can't express myself as much as when I'm standing up. And I feel like I can communicate better.
How do you guys feel about that? Are you okay, or you feel uncomfortable about it? You know, this is free-for-all session here.
I've actually gotten so used to it that when I see normal piano trio setups, something seems a little off. So I've gotten very acclimated to it, and it's very.
So if you were playing in Tully Hall or Fisher Hall, a bigger place, would you have a riser, a cello platform, or would you just play standing like that, sitting them?
I've actually never played on a riser before.
Okay. Because I'm not used to seeing this, you know. Even Jascha Heifetz played trios sitting down. He seemed to have done okay. Yeah, I don't know. I once upon a time I played the Tchaikovsky trio with my dear friend Ron Thomas, who asked if he can play on a riser because he thinks the piano part of that trio is so massive that he won't be heard unless he's higher up. So I asked him, what should I do then? So he said, why don't you just play standing up? So that's the first time. And then so many colleagues in the audience said that looked totally bizarre. So I don't know. I guess, you know, if you are you playing as a group a lot now together? I see. Okay. Well, that's all right. That's fine. That's your choice. Yeah, I'm just not used to seeing something like this, you know. As long as everybody feels okay. Because from afar, you know, yeah, you are clearly much more visible than your colleagues. So, yeah, all right. I just have a couple of tempo questions. And then I want to ask you if you can when you introduce this beautiful melody, I know, you know, he specified to play everything all on the D string. Is there any way you can do a fingering that doesn't require you to slide around so much?
Possibly.
Yeah, but I wouldn't slide back up again. You see, if you did that D then I wouldn't go D one. Yeah. Right. Yeah, because when the cello did it later, he didn't slide around so much, and I thought that was lovely. You know, I think it should be very elegant. I mean, Ravel's music is always impeccably elegant, no matter, you know, even in Cigan you can play it very elegantly, and people say that's stunning, you know. So let's start from the top one more time. I just a couple tempo markings I'm curious about, but we'll explore that as we now play. Now there's a color thing that I would like to ask of you. You know, he marked pianissimo for both the piano statement and then the string. Everything is pianissimo, and then at rehearsal 1, he ups the ante slightly to piano, you know, and then gradually he starts to play more, you know, plus the espressivo marking later on. So I wonder if we can create that color so it's one tier for the pianissimo and then slightly higher for the piano, and then it gradually builds from there, you know, because right now from out in the back, when you played it through, I had trouble hearing the pianissimo versus the piano. You know, it's very delicate, of course, and very minute difference perhaps, but if you think about it, maybe that will already do the trick, you know. sorry, can I just ask you to try once? When you come in order to convey the pianissimo, not to use so much, you know, like, but less bow. Because there's so much bow right away conveys lots of motion, you know, because the way the piano presented the tune wasn't quite so active yet. We have plenty of chance to do that. Maybe just, you know, even maybe use that bow stroke for your piano, but then less so for the pianissimo, you know? Just a question more than anything else about the observation. It says, you know, anime, right? When the mezzo piano comes in for the violin, it sounds abruptly faster. It says, you know, un peu. So maybe you should save a little bit. Start normally as the tempo that cello had given, and then accelerate from there. But gradually, right? He says little bit by little bit, you know? So maybe not so abrupt. And then finally, you know, before 2, then let go. Now, could that cello line swing a little? Da, dee, da, dee, da, dee, da. You know, that use that rhythm as is, you know? Don't think about, you know, counting as such, you know? You know what I mean? Yeah, maybe 2 from there. I think Angie was doing it, but could the strings give a little more pesante on the downbeat here? In other words, don't play so short. Yum ba da 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 ba, wham ba. A little more length, perhaps, on that downbeat, so that's not so short and kind of chopped, you know. And fortissimo, so it sounds a little more. It should be, you know, quite cataclysmic at that point, you know. Sure, 2 is fine, yeah. Yeah. Now, did you notice something that's so interesting? I haven't played this piece for a long time, but I suddenly just realized the guy doesn't write a diminuendo until right before 3, and then you all just went away. I wonder, maybe you equated slowing down with diminuendo, but what would happen if you waited until the last second to let go of the sound, keep the tension of the phrase a little bit longer? Do you think that might work? I don't know. Let's try it, right? just ask you this? Notice that he put. Oh, this is interesting. Your part doesn't have it. I don't know what edition, but notice the dots. I'm looking at these dots here. Dee-da-dum-ba. So could that be more playful? You know? So like the second part, maybe it's just maybe it's just very faint. Yeah. Yeah. I think that might create slightly different character there. Okay. Zainab, hi. Okay. Could you play this with infinite sweetness? You know, like play this as the most dear thing in your life. You know, almost like a mother singing a lullaby to a child. You know, cradling the baby. Infinite sweetness. Doesn't have to be loud because it's only pianissimo, right? But he wrote, what did he write? Yeah, so just a little slower and, you know, very unassuming. Okay, then play like high fifths here. Meaning, with the slide, go away. You know, so that the downbeat, the fermata, sheer magic. You know, right now it's just it's like, go away. Use that slide to diminuendo. You know, play the lower octave A a little bit more, and then go away. Okay, see if that works. sorry, and very good playing throughout. You know, I hate to say this as a violinist, but the violin actually at number 8 is a bit too loud. I'm always reluctant to say so, but I think you just color, you know, shimmering colors, and with the cello. So let the piano through with no what's the word? No interference, you know. And I think at 7, the second bar and the fourth bar should be so romantic, you know. Yeah, rhapsodic, you know. Basque country, you know, where Ravel came from. This is, you know. So also before 7, could the strings sustain the sound a little more? When I'm talking about the second last bar, because you reach that long, you know, F sharp, and then you kind of just went away. And then I think the tension should be kept a little longer when the piano is playing. Dum, ba, da, 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 dum, you know. Now, I have just a question mark about metronome markings. Are you very big on metronome markings? I don't know. I'm curious.
We were noticing how clearly Ravel has marks in this piece with very specific things and slight deviations. And so when we first were learning the piece, and even as we were working on it, we were trying to keep the reference, find what Ravel was trying to get at, and keep that spirit.
But isn't that interesting? Like then, you know, it's like Bartok, right? You look at the metronome marking and you try to absorb as much as you can and try to understand. And then you have to step back and see why these tempos change and where do they fit in the bigger scheme of the whole architecture. Now, what I'm trying to drive at is, it seemed like at 12, it was quite fast. It was almost like you were playing the opening tempo, whereas, you know, Ravel wrote 100 to an 8th note, and the beginnings 132 to a. So for my, you know, mind, it seems like this should be a little slower, but for some reason at 12 you seem to have gone back to tempo primo. I'm not sure. Maybe that's a very deliberate approach by the three of you. I just wanted to check on that. Did you ever discuss this?
Yeah, I think maybe for that specific section, because it's already slowing down so much, that at 12 we've kind of told ourselves to pick up the tempo a little bit, so maybe we're kind of overshooting the tempo.
That's right, because at 11, the previous rehearsal number is 80. So, I mean, you did it very beautifully. And then maybe don't feel the compulsion to have to go back to opening tempo. In fact, should we just try that and see how it works? You know, if you absolutely hate it, of course, you know, Ravel's not here to tell you what to do. So, you know, there's a famous line from musicians in the Philadelphia Orchestra about Eugene Ormandy. He was telling the trumpets in a Stravinsky piece to play it longer. And the trumpeter said, but maestro, Stravinsky wrote marcato, secco, with dots on every note. And Ormandy said, Stravinsky's dead, play longer. So from wherever you like. Now, let me just try this out on you for a second. Okay, here's, because let's look at here, 100, right? So let me get the metronome up to 100. Here we go. It's very slow, isn't it? But then look at rehearsal 6, the same identical spot, but he wrote 112 there. So let's check what 112 is. Let's try 6 for now, and this is the tempo. Okay, now let's jump back to our number 12 and let's check 100. Here we go. What do you think? Is there any difference in your opinion, or some difference? What do you think? I'm really curious to hear your opinion.
For me, I feel less rushed. I feel like I can really enjoy
At this particular, but how about the difference between 112 versus 100?
I think 12, the 100 tempo marking slows stuff down, whereas at 6, we're still going into 7, which is more moving. So
I
it's
see.
like a good transition. But at 12, I agree that it should be coming down.
Because from here on to the end is kind of gradually more and more static, right? Kind of, you know. So I don't know. What do you think?
No, I mean, it makes sense what Angie was saying. I mean, I think from playing it after we just played it the first time, it definitely feels a little bit different.
Yeah.
Kind of have to sustain a little bit more. But I mean, it makes sense because the only thing that I might be concerned about is that he writes rallentando after 12 again. So I don't know if it would make that a little bit too slow, but I mean, I like what Angie was saying, like you don't feel rushed.
That's right. You have to gauge that rallentando more carefully then, the ritenuto, and then of course 13 you resume 100 to the end. So this is very interesting because, you know, I as I said, I have not played this for a long time, but his metronome marking in the violin sonata is absolutely spot on. It's like, you know, it's perfect, and you know, whereas Debussy's metronome markings are kind of all over the place. You don't know whether, I mean, they don't even exist. The numbers don't exist on the TikTok version, you know. So so I don't know where Mr. Debussy got his, but Ravel seems to be very precise. So I don't know. It's worth. Of course, you know, you have to build that into your own system, your own metabolism. You know, if it feels right, then it's. If it doesn't feel right, then you shouldn't do it. You know, but out of curiosity, can we just try from 12 to the end now? it's a little tougher to play this way, isn't it? Because you just have, for string players, you have to hang on to the sound a little more. But what I realized just now, what made it very beautiful is that 13, it became something more meaningful. But, you know, but you have to like it, you know, obviously. If you don't, you know, like, I mean, again, you know, we're talking about Heifetz, but, you know, his recording of this with Rubinstein and Piatigorsky is amazing. But the thing is, the first movement is really fleet, very fast, you know, so all the metronome markings are pretty much thrown out of the window. But that can work too, because when it's, you know, when it's convincing, it can work. So I think this is just an experiment that I threw at you. You know, my only request is that before 12, because the color is so transparent at 12, 2 bars before, I think the cello and the violin line, as it ascends, should sing a lot more, not to be too shy about, you know. And then also, after 12, the 4th bar, you should warm up the sound, you know, from the very transparent sound. And I think maybe 12 should be even less vibrato, and then let it warm up as it crescendos, you know, so the color continues to change constantly, you know. So anyway, these are just thoughts that you can consider, because he clearly wrote, you know, after 10, you know, the word long, you know, 100, so that means he wants it slow. And so it's no longer the same as the beginning, you know. And who am I to doubt that, you know, Ravel was, you know, not sincere in his markings. He took the trouble to mark so many things, right? And then, of course, the second movement, you can totally bust loose and let it fly, you know? And that's the amazing part about it. And so maybe, you know, as you play this piece, more thoughts, I'm sure, will evolve. And or if you played this piece with other colleagues, they might bring their own experiences to the table, and you can always gain more and more, you know. That's the great thing about making music, you know. It evolves and changes all the time. So I wish you, you know, lots of success and much joy in playing this great work. Yeah, thank you very much. Thanks. Thank you. Bravo to all of you. Bravo. Hi, good morning. Hi, how are you? Make yourself comfortable. How are you?
Hi.
Good morning. Good morning. How are you? Good morning. Hi, good morning. Hi, afternoon rather by now. Nice to see you here. Yeah. Make yourself comfortable. very good. Bravo to all of you. I'm going to say one thing right off before we proceed. Yubing, you need to participate in this group a lot more. Okay, I can barely hear you out there. And your musical gesture is very passive right now. This piece needs you. This quartet, your 3 colleagues all need you to be much more assertive, okay? Because you have so many important lines, harmonically, rhythmically, and of course, you know, melodically. We need you to punch your way out. Because as we all know, Brahms textures can be rather thick. And so it's not always that you win the battle easily. But the fact that you're fighting for your line sometimes creates that incredible tension that this music needs, okay? So don't be too easy on your colleagues saying, oh yeah, do whatever you like, okay? No, you put your, you know, foot down and go, this is what I want, okay? This is an important aspect. Now, all 4 of you played very well. One thing you don't seem to know what to do is how to play piano. You play the fortes really well. There's a lot of power, a lot of drama. But when it comes to piano, you 4 of you just seem to like, okay, we just play a piano. But it's a piano that needs content. You know, there's so many different levels of piano. You know, one that's heavy, you know, or full of angst or full of joy, you know, airy, whatever it is. I think it would be really important to have all of you come to terms with what are the characters, you know, especially in the piano part. Even at the beginning, you know, it's, you know, he wrote piano and then these 2, again, like the clarinet quintet earlier, he writes this diminuendo, right? Again, it's like sigh, you know. You know, because you know about the story Brahms wrote about this publication of this music, right? Did you ever know that? He wrote a letter to his publisher. He says, do you think for this particular piano quartet it's appropriate to put on the cover a young man with a gun pointed to his head? You know, Brahms was really trying to relate to the story of Werther at that point. You know, lots of tragedy involved, you know, this inner angst. And it comes out very clearly in this music, especially in the first movement. So we need to set the table right away. So, all right, Wei Yi, when you begin this first note, make the forte as if it's coming from inside the piano, not outside. It's not like a pop. Oh, you know, with 100 tons of weight, the weight of humanities are on your shoulder, okay? And when you guys come in, don't feel like you need to count, like the and the. Do 2 gestures separately from the rest of the music. You know, you do 2 bars, and then on the 3rd bar, then the music goes forward. You know, but the first 2 should be just a separate entity. You know, that's the DNA of this first movement. It gets set. Okay, so don't feel there's any hurry to establish that. Should we try that? Take your time. Yeah, sorry, wait. Doesn't have to be loud, but it has to be full of weight. You see, yeah, see, Christoph, you need to have a little more sound. Okay. Yeah, it's too, what's the word, undefined. You know, we have to have thickness in the sound. You know, just do from when you come in, and then give a little, again, from the bottom, the sound comes from not the surface, but way down in the middle of the earth.
Directly from.
Yeah, on the third bar. Yeah. Don't give a sign. You don't need to. They know exactly what you're doing. That interrupts the music. Just, yeah. There. You mean, this is what I mean. You need to go to that top of the crescendo. You let go so quickly. It's like, what a pity, the tension. Let's do that, the fifth bar. Let's do from the fifth bar. Everybody hang on to their sound. Yeah, so big deal if you need to change the bow. It's okay. You don't have to you have to end on a down bow. In fact, everybody, you should just create a bowing that works for the sound production, not to worry about. You must play, again, these long legato lines Beethoven, Schubert, or Brahms wrote, not bowing, right? It's just a phrase. He wants you to be absolutely legato through these many bars. And you can do whatever bowing you like as long as you achieve that legato, okay? Otherwise, it doesn't seem to work. I think the phrase, the tension, the deepness of the sound, those are important points. Can we try one more time? Yeah. Okay. Can I just play that phrase with you guys? I'm all trying to, on this tight over notes, hang on to it ever so slightly, as if you're reluctant to let go. Those are the harmonic clashes. If you just let it go, it loses its tension. Okay, try that. Yeah. Change bow if you like. That's nice. See, guess what? The piano comes in on your F sharp. So you have to be loud enough so the piano can come in without sounding like she's interrupting. Sorry, your G flat, yeah, okay? So this is much better. And don't forget, the second time around, Brahms wrote espressivo. So for me, the first one is very bleak, right? And the second one is already filled with a little more something in there, So, should we do that? That's, this one, okay. where you have espressivo marked, yeah. Again, this like Beethoven's ba 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 bum, right? This is the Fate theme, right? Pom pom. So again, the piano part, you cannot just play ba ba. Okay, it's not an attack. Again, feel, can you just play those chords? Yeah. Yeah, but just feel the heaviness. You know, pretend that you weigh 300 pounds. That's better. Now, the second note is not, doesn't go dee-dum. It's pom pom, right? But not that light either, the second note. Yeah, now put a little more marcato feeling because they had dots on them now. Yeah, no, but now you're chopping the second note. They should be of equal length. That's better, okay? Think about the inner part of the chord and the left hand rather than the top. The top's gonna come out anyway, okay? But the top voice needs the support from the lower end, okay? So should we do from this pianissimo? Bom, 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 bom. Very good. Now, because you guys play fortes really well. And I don't mean that sarcastically. I mean as a compliment. Just remember one thing. Beethoven and Brahms used fortissimo very sparingly. Only in very special places. You know, it's not like Tchaikovsky who put fortissimo, you know, whenever possible. And also triple forte, quadruple forte, as you know very well, you know, impossible to achieve. But here, this is one such instance, right? And then you notice, have you played the fourth movement yet? Yes. You know, it goes da-dum, body, da-dum, 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 and it's fortissimo, fortissimo, and then when the theme comes back, he wrote forte. You know, it's always the internal puzzle. You know, do we play less, or he simply wants to reinforce us to play strong? I don't know, you know. But here, the one, you should pump out as much energy as you can from the 16th note, ya-da-da-da-da-da-da-dum. You know, try that. And this thickness of the sound is very important. Go ahead and tune. And the piano chords need your support. So don't be shy. You know, just add to that, bam, bam, that weightiness. Okay? So should we do the upbeat to the forte? Everybody's for, yeah, yeah, the descending 16th note. Oh, no, Yubing, don't do that. So, you give up so quickly. Da-dee-da-dee-da-dum-bum. No. In fact, you should be on the C string. Yeah, hand it to the piano, you know. But that's less important. Yeah. But the thing is, you know, don't let go of the sound, the tension and the quality of the sound. You know, it's just, you're not accompanying. You are every bit as equal as everybody else in this group. We need to hear your, in fact, all this, you know, don't let go, because there's still a diminuendo that needs to play, you know, you need to play more, okay? Yeah, so don't be too passive. And I think the viola should be more insistent, because the violin line, and then you have to swell, you know, a little bit more, you know, there's more tension, more angst in there. And then the cello line relaxes into the new melody, you know? Let's try some way around. Maybe B, is B a good place? Do you have letter B, or what bar number is that? The tranquillo here. Here, this one, tranquillo, yeah. More, indeed. Good. Don't think about volume. You seem like you were very intent on saying I have to pump out all the sound. Relax the sound. In fact, as if, you know, just allow this beautiful piano to produce a sound on its own. I don't know if you know what I mean. You know, you don't have to push, you know, in the sound. Just make the most beautiful, the fattest sound you can make. No, sorry. We need to hear the lower octave too. Okay. Yeah, the first note. From out there, I only heard the upper octave. All right? That's really lovely. Just do right on there where the strings join you. Beautiful. That was really lovely. More viola. Yes, you didn't do that the first time. That's so nice. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, that's great. You changed the color. You set it up. You see, this is what I mean by participating in the process. Yes, that's great. You should keep doing that. That's wonderful. Now, we're beginning to run out of time. There's one passage in the development I'd like to try with you, which is the incredible canon between the viola and the violin. Can we do from the key change, the 3 flats? And then I think just, you know, up the ante each time, but you must take the lead. All right, 3 terraces, and the last one is just full out, no holding back. Here. Here, yeah. Yeah, sorry. Now, let's do 2 bars before that double bar, okay? Fortissimo here. Yeah, let the piano play the downbeat, or everybody play the downbeat, or with the grace note. Now go. Yeah, this is the part, okay? That was very much better, this incredible duet. As if it's the world's thickest rubber band and you're trying to, you know, again, you guys do the swell, yes, but then after the swell, on the downside, or the diminuendo side, you give up very quickly. Because, underneath it all, it's still forte, right? And he wrote espressivo. That's always a very telling remark from Mr. Brahms. Yeah, good. Yeah, and so just to tell you what you can actually do. Where are you? Where's that key change? Okay. So if you want to go crazy next time, you can do the Lin Harold bowing, all right? He does ba-yam-bam. Yes. Yeah, except when he does it, he's 10 times louder than what you're doing. You just hear like these two hammer blows, massively enjoyable. Can we do from all this? Do you know where I'm talking about? Yeah, the fortissimo. Good. That's terrific. Let's jump also to this final outburst near the end, if we can. What's a good place? How about this? Oh, no. That's. Yeah, from here. Can we do from here? What bar number is that? This place. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Great. Okay, sorry to stop. A couple things in this passage. The accent must be played with vibrato. It's an expressive wow, wow, wow. Not just the bow, but the vibrato needs to help. And then after that, what is this? Ben sostenuto. Again, we need you. Each one pushing the as if, like a volcano, like before it explodes, this magma is like just churning inside, rah, and then finally, boom, it blows up at the next, So don't take, where is that? Take that piano marking with a grain of salt, okay? This is the place where I said sometimes you just have to punch your way out. That's one of them, because that's a really thick texture. Can we try one more time, the same place? say largamente. Again, I'm marking that Brahms used sparingly. So, you know, think of all the weight of the world on your shoulders there, okay? And very good. Yeah, yam bam bam, bam bam bam. Where is that? Where you have to super marcato, okay? And then yap bam 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 bam. You know, punch your way out, okay? Because you kind of got buried in there. So, you know, separate these eighth notes as triplets as much as you can. Bite into every one of them. Okay, can we just do right there? Yeah. Okay, may I just share with you what I learned from playing this piece with Leon Fleischer, which is play the second bar as late as you dare. I'm talking about 1, 2, 3, 4, the fourth last bar. Just try those last 5 bars. I'll show you what I mean. Just play this note as just do from the previous chord, this one. Yeah. Yeah, just do it from there. Yeah, yeah, be daring a little more. I'll show you what I mean. Go ahead. Took me a while to figure out what it is that he was trying to do. Is that he wants to make the final C minor landing the final moment. And it made so much sense. So I want to share that with you, and perhaps you can try it. Do you want to give this one go, one try? Something like that, you know. It lands a little more weight. Again, you know, this, you know, W-E-I-G-H-T word is very important in this piece. That there's that weightiness always, you know, on your shoulders, like, oh, you know, always pressing down on you. Doesn't let go, this piece, you know. Even the fourth movement, right? It ends in that really incredible way, like going to a different world. It's very, very amazing. But I sure hope you play the third movement with all the flair of you playing a Brahms cello sonata, right? That's your tune, right? The third movement. That's one of the most glorious cello tunes ever written, right? So I hope you enjoy it. You know, don't be shy. Don't hold back. You know, because sometimes when the, you know, like in the string quartet too, right? When the propulsion and the energy emanates from the bottom, it really lifts up the entire group, you know. It's much easier to come from the bottom than from the top down, from the violin or, you know, the higher soprano instruments. So, yeah, we need you, okay? If you're in a group with me, I'll say, you know, yeah, play more, you know, assert yourself. Okay, I think we've run out of time, so I want to say big bravo to all of you. Thank you. Yeah. All right, thank you.